Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, has everybody had an opportunity to read the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody
Yes.
have any questions, changes?
Nope.
We're
Nope,
good?
I'm good with it.
We're good? Okay. I make a motion to pass the minutes.
Second.
All in favor? All in favor on Zoom? We're good?
Yeah, I'm fine with them. Thanks.
Okay. You're good, Steve? Okay, done. Coco would like us to, so the next year's schedule, it's again on Thursdays from third Thursday of every month at 9 a.m. So nothing has changed. And good morning, Charity.
Morning.
Good morning. Were you okay with the minutes?
Yes, I love the minutes.
You love the minutes. Okay. We love that you love the minutes. Okay. We're moving on to the next year's schedule. It will again be the third Thursday of every month from 9 to 10. And the dates are here. And obviously, if there's some conflict or something comes up, we can always change them.
Tim? Yeah, this is Christina. I now have a conflict with the 9 o'clock. I've been able to move my appointment to an earlier time and then just, start the call as I travel home. But I don't know if I can do that every month between now and May or January through May. So I don't want to ask to change the time of the meeting, but I guess I want to find out if there's any appetite from anyone else for a different time, maybe 11.
11?
11 on Thursdays. Yeah.
11 o'clock?
Yeah.
11 to 12, you mean?
Yeah.
There'll be conflicts with all the town activities.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't have any conflict.
Is it just the third Thursday or is it every Thursday, Charity?
Oh, it's Christina.
I'm sorry.
No, it's every Thursday.
Okay.
So what time do you get home?
I can get home by, well, I could swing a 9:30. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Now my appointment's from 9 to 10, so I don't get home until after 10:30 at the
After
earliest.
10:30?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And
okay. We have flexibility on Thursday. So
Okay.
if it works for the rest of the group, we could change the time to later. If it works for everybody else.
Rooms available.
Room's available.
It's fine with me. This is Charity.
Works for me.
Same.
Okay.
The
Tim's like, oh no.
So we're looking at 11 to 12?
That's what it sounds like.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, that would be fantastic. And I don't know that it doesn't have to be perhaps beyond this year, but I know that the January through May meetings are going to be challenging.
So, okay. And it's for the whole year or?
Well, maybe if I don't know, I don't want to make it confusing, but if I guess my request would be for through May or April. I don't know, whatever people are willing to go with, but
And
I think
it'd be better.
I suspect I won't have the conflict after May, after the
What
May
do we do
meeting.
with that?
Would an afternoon time be better?
I'm sorry.
I'd rather, particularly when it gets, a lot of people like the afternoons to,
Yeah.
and particularly when it's warm.
Tonight. Okay. Um,
I mean, I don't want to switch. I don't want to do one time half the year and then switch to another time. And then in the fall, I assume you have to go back again to the 11 o'clock, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping this is gonna wrap up, you know, my appointments are gonna wrap up in the spring, but that's, a personal thing. If you want to just have one time throughout the year that's not gonna change, uh, then yeah, the 11 o'clock all year. And then maybe next year, if people don't like the 11 o'clock and everybody prefers 9 o'clock, we can go back to that. But
it's up to you guys.
Uh,
The room is available, so it's up to you guys.
Okay.
Works for
Well, if everybody is in agreement, we can do this.
ah,
I agree. We're talking about moving it to 11 o'clock,
11 to 12
11 to 12 on Thursdays,
Thursdays.
through the year.
Right, so the dates would stay the same, the time would just change to 11.
Do you want to keep, do you want to keep from June through the remainder of the year at 9?
Well,
Or just really stick with one time?
I mean, do we have the option if let's say it,
You could always adjust it later if you need to, if you find.
all right, let's do that. We'll do from 11 to 12, starting in January. And then we'll see what happens.
all right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Well, we want you to attend the meeting.
Yes.
And we seem all in agreement to do this, so, okay. All right, so I'm gonna make a motion to accept that we are accepting the dates and changing the time from 9 to 11 to 12. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. E-tip, at the last meeting, we threw out, I think, 3 dates for possible town presentation, 11/25, that's not gonna happen. 12/2 or 12/9. Does either 12/2 or 12/9, I'm leaning towards 12/9 personally, if that's still a possibility for a presentation. Yeah. Or we,
Well,
or whatever, whatever.
I had written it down as December 1st. 12, you had, so it was December 2nd. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday.
And what time of day will this happen?
It's at 1 o'clock, which doesn't mean that it will happen at 1 o'clock. It just means that the meeting starts at 1 o'clock.
And okay, I can't leave New York until like 8 a.m. on the 2nd.
What about the 9th? I think we discussed this.
Yeah. I have a dental appointment at 2 o'clock from 2 to 3.
On the 9th.
I had to reschedule, yeah, because I've been sick.
So you get one,
But are you coming,
One
are you
exception.
coming to Shelter Island for this?
No. I would have to zoom in.
okay.
So, but I got my one shot, I think, in this meeting already, my one request. So I'm not going to mess up this meeting. I would love to be there, but
But we don't have to do it. What happens the 9th, was that the 16th?
It's
No. No, 9 plus 7 is 16.
Yes.
Get it right.
Double check with my, I don't trust myself this morning. Tired already. Yeah, so it's December 2nd, December 9th, December 16th, and January.
So what if, well, here's a question. You have one person's coming off the board, a new person's coming on the board. Do you want to wait till like but a lot happens in January where, does that make a difference, or can Liz
I
just,
don't think it makes a difference. We're presenting ETIP, and the new member will not have had any experience with it.
I understand that, and Liz can always just attend the meeting.
Exactly. Yeah, I think she's gonna try to attend the meetings up until the new year so that she's kind of up to speed by the time she gets on the board, so I think it would be fine.
So do you want to try for the 16th?
We can pencil you in on the agenda.
Okay. So is everybody okay with the 16th?
I don't love the six. So what is my role going to be? Am I going to have to physically be there?
Well, I think it's nice if physically,
I mean, who's doing the presentation?
well, I could do the presentation. It's just going to be, I mean, we're going to prepare, I've already thought about this, but we're going to prepare, we're going to take the outreach slide deck and simplify it. And I don't mean that in a
No, make
condescending
it
way.
easily digestible for the
Digestible for everybody. And something that can be done within 15 minutes. It's just a taste of what we've been doing. And so I'm essentially going to be doing a PowerPoint with probably some notes on the side, reading notes, which I'll say. And that's going to be it. And then there'll be questions. So it's up to all of you who, whether you want to attend or not attend or can or can't attend.
When do we present our recommendations?
Say once we get the final report,
Well, that would be the final report, exactly,
right?
which could be.
Okay, so that's not this.
No, this is a presentation of, this is what we've been up to for the past 2 years.
Right.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
And I'm not, I don't see it as being excessively technical. It's really just to give us sort of a little more than a snapshot of what we've been doing.
Okay, so in that case, any of those 3 dates works for me.
Any of those 3 days. Okay, so we're gonna do the 16th,
Okay.
okay? Is that okay?
16th is great for me.
16th works great? Okay, I love hearing that.
Thanks.
Okay. And what I thought I would do is I'm going to start just, I meant to do it last weekend, but I couldn't. But I'm going to just start working on the, essentially creating a new PowerPoint based on the outreach slide deck. And then I'll share it with everybody. And then we can move on from there. Who's that?
Sorry.
Sounds good.
Sounds
That
good?
sounds great. Yeah,
Okay,
sounds great. Thanks, Tim.
I just thought it'd be easier if one person starts with it and then everybody can jump in with everything else. And then Charity, Kate Kablansky is coming here on the 3rd.
She is.
You want to tell us about this?
Yes. The reporter is doing a forum on Shelter Island's vulnerabilities. This kind of came out of the pharmacy situation.
Uh-huh.
But it's not we're not just talking about, the pharmacy. We're talking about Shelter Island's, we want to talk about, have a community discussion about Shelter Island's vulnerabilities. And obviously this gets into emergency preparedness and climate change. There's some larger issues that we, that underpin some of our vulnerabilities. So we have a panel that consists of people who can talk about a variety of these issues. And Kate is coming to talk specifically about the threats to island communities. So she's coming in her role as a sort of energy, I've forgotten what the specific title is, but from the Island Institute. So she's going to talk about what this island's vulnerabilities are and also what other islands are doing to address their vulnerabilities.
That's great. And who else is on the panel?
Amber Brock Williams is on the panel.
Chief Reed,
What's that?
Chief Reed, Christina,
Reed is on
Christina Peffer.
Oh.
I'm reading your article.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes.
Christina Peffer, Chamber of Commerce, I believe new president. I'm not.
So she's
What is she?
She's
Alexandra's
she's
the-
the Chamber of Commerce, but she is going to talk specifically about an initiative that she's been looking into. The Montauk actually lost their pharmacy and created a sort of a new model, which is a community supported pharmacy. And so she's been looking into something similar for Shelter Island, and she's going to talk about that a little bit. So it's just a way of getting into the idea of other models for businesses that are, that are potentially vulnerable on Shelter Island, such as pharmacy, grocery, gas station. We have a lot of sort of single, we have one in many cases of these more or less vital services, businesses. And so she's just going to be talking about another model for these kinds of businesses.
It sounds like a great idea and very timely.
Okay, we're okay then with Kate staying at the Ram's Head?
I think she decided to stay somewhere else. The Island Institute is paying for her travel. And she has, I think, another appointment in New York on the 5th. So I think she concluded, I suggested the Ram's Head, which is really about the only place open right now. Also, Christina volunteered their home, which would have been very nice. But, I think basically Kate preferred to stay in a location off the island. I think she may be in Greenport. I'm not sure. I sent her the names of several places on the North Fork. So and that makes it a little bit easier for her to get out and get to New York the next day.
Okay.
So do we have a specific date that this is happening and we'll get some sort of an official notice?
It's in the paper. It's in the
Okay.
newspaper. Yeah, it's the Shelter Island Vulnerabilities Reporter Forum. So it's an ad on I can't remember where they put it. There's an article, maybe it's on the front page of this issue.
Front page article.
Front page article, yeah. And then I think there's an ad with a specific somewhere about where and when.
Yep.
And it is, and I have that somewhere too. Let's see. It is on December.
Charity, is there any chance it would be available remotely?
I don't think so. We record it. We do an
you
audio.
do?
We do an audio recording. I don't know if they're going to do a video recording.
Oh, audio recording would be great. I would just love to hear the content.
Yeah.
Sounds really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, by audio recording, I mean, I turn on my phone recorder and then
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. And then how is that available? Is that available on the reporter's website?
through the Times Review website. Yeah.
I see. Okay, great.
Okay. So it is Wednesday, December 3rd from 5:30 to 7 at the Presbyterian Church in the, fellowship hall.
Great.
Yep.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll, I assume Kate will say something about ETIP or not necessarily?
I doubt it. No, I don't. It's not really related to ETIP. No.
Okay.
I mean, she may. I'm not going to stop her, but But so I'm the moderator, and so what I'm going to be doing is asking each of the panelists some questions, which I share with them ahead of time. Um, and then they respond to those questions. It may be that in the course of answering questions about how other islands have, have dealt with uh, energy vulnerabilities, she will refer to the ETIP work. It's possible, but I would really prefer, it's a panel. She's not the only panelist, and I don't want to have to stop and explain to everybody who, what ETIP stands for and what it is. And, it's just, that's not really the subject of this. This is a way of informing the public about what some of our vulnerabilities are, what some of the issues around them are, and what sorts of things the town and businesses and individuals can do to address them.
Okay. Oh, it sounds terrific.
I hope we're not struck by lightning or like or a tsunami in the course of the event.
Well, I hope so too. At least we'll be inland.
I know. I'm just, like we're tempting fate, we're like
When people ask me if I got flooded during some event, I always say, if I got flooded, the world's in trouble.
Yeah. You're definitely one of the highest points on the
Except Tim, hello, Tim. The world is in trouble.
Well, yes, but that would be real
Yeah, but
trouble.
we don't need to start building arcs yet.
Well, the people in North Carolina didn't think they needed arcs either.
Yeah, I know. I know. Okay, anything else on ETIP and related topics? Okay. Moving on to,
I have a question
yes,
about,
of course.
I'm a little bit worried if we don't ever, or at least during this administration, get the final report from ETIP. And so if we're waiting for that in order to make recommendations to the town, we won't be able to move forward on any project.
Well, I think the way Brian put it, I think we have some flexibility in this to actually go ahead and make recommendations.
Ew.
Yes, that was my understanding
I
because
thought
he
that was
said,
the subject of this session. I didn't realize.
well, so I thought he said we can go ahead and make a presentation to the town board and use on the basis of the PowerPoint that has been approved. And I didn't hear that there were any restrictions on what the content of that or the extent of that presentation would be. In other words, I thought it could also covers, a full presentation with recommendations.
I think their internal report just has to percolate up through their various levels of administration before it's finally approved.
Well,
True?
correct. But the report has to be approved ultimately by someone who would be a political appointee who may not like the content of the report and may not approve it or may change it pretty drastically. I don't know. That's happened before at EPA. I'm not saying it's going to happen at the Department of Energy, but it's impossible to know.
Well, why don't I check in with Brian?
Okay.
I can just do that.
And related to Christina's question, which I think is an excellent one, there were a couple of things that were fairly urgent, I thought, that came out of the ETIP analysis. One of which was that the school really needs an energy audit, and
Yes.
and I think about that a lot because winter's coming, and I think that's something we need to move. We need to communicate that in whatever way is most palatable to to the school.
Um,
Yeah, I just
Yes.
want to say, I really agree with that. I've been worried about sitting on this information when they're approaching another heating season, when they could be potentially saving quite a lot of money, or at least moving toward, they wouldn't be able to do anything quickly enough for this winter. But anyway, I agree. I think I'd like to move on what we know from the work we've done with ETIP, you know, without waiting for a final report to land in our inboxes.
Well, I mean, in terms of the school, I mean, they're not really good. I mean, that does take money. So it's not as if they can act on this immediately. I mean, I think for homeowners, if certainly when we do the presentation, if we can provide some kind of advice to homeowners about how they can have their homes audited.
We can share the information that we've learned about the school with the school. I don't know that we need to do a
Yes.
formal presentation to them, but we can share it with, Brian Dolger and other members.
Yeah, we can share
of the
it.
School and the board, and then it's up to them to kind of take it and run with it. The town doesn't
Exactly.
have the ability to do anything. for
Right.
them.
Exactly. I mean, that will be part of the presentation, but
Yeah.
I really have a problem with them finding out about this in the course of a presentation.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We'll share it with them beforehand. We're not going to do a presentation about the school specifically. It will just share all the information we've learned about the school through our research with the school, not necessarily like in a town presentation.
In other words, what I have a problem with is a town presentation that mentions, the fact that we've known for 6 months that the school might have a very serious, sort of energy issue related to, well, we're not even sure what. I mean, that's the problem. All we know is that it uses way more energy than it should for a facility of that size.
Right, but there were also questions about the data. So I don't think that we need to wave a red flag when the data may not be accurate that the assumption's based upon. So I think if we share with the school the information we had based on the data we collected, they can double check the data, see if we're right, and then they can take it from there. So, I don't necessarily think it's our place to, tell them that they have a major problem when they may not, because it's just data that we collected that may not be accurate, and there were questions about its accuracy at the time. So,
I suspect whatever we say concerning the school's energy inefficiency would not be a surprise to Mike Dunn.
Correct.
Yeah, can I also jump in here and say, it's almost December. With respect to any, capital improvements they might make that would affect this winter, I think that that ship has sailed. If you're talking about making capital improvements to the heating system or to the building, I think you're talking about a months-long process. So at least in terms of the school, I think we need to be, realistic. We need to continue to move forward with the council so that we can provide information to homeowners. But the school is a project of a different scale.
I'm not talking about recommendations. I'm talking about what Christina said, sitting on information. I don't want us to sit on this information anymore.
we're not Charity.
Well, it would be nice to have a conversation with the key people at the school anyway, to give them a heads up that we've seen this and let them start collecting information and data.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So what you're all asking is, before the 16th presentation, that we go to the school and just alert them, we're doing this presentation and this is what we're going to be talking about with the school, just so you know, right? Is that what you're concerned about?
No, I'm saying somebody needs to, maybe it's Don, somebody needs to talk to them and say, this information came out and we don't know.
That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah. Yes, right. I
Yes.
think we are pretty much on the same page.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, but sooner rather than later, and presumably before the 16th. I agree.
Yes,
With
we can do
everything
that.
everybody said, I think we're all, yeah, I think we all
Okay,
are.
we
in
can, we can
agreement.
do that. Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, and
That'd be great.
I thought that's one of the purposes of our presentation to the town board, so that they have that information before we go to the school.
No, it
No.
doesn't have to happen like that. Can-
We can go to the school and just talk about their portion of the presentation.
I
It
don't
would be
want
nice-
to put them in the situation of sitting in a meeting and hearing from someone who was in the meeting that this was discussed and they're not aware of it already.
No, we can go to them before the meeting. And I have at times, and Donna and I went to them at least once and updated them on what we're doing. We didn't update them more recently about the data, which may or may not be correct, or all the other ideas about the school. But we can do all that before the 16th.
Well, and I don't know that the school should be included in a presentation to the town unless the data's been verified, that, you know, the concern is valid. Like, I'd like the school to look at the data and say, yes, this is accurate data, or no, you're missing all this
I
stuff.
agree.
Before,
We can share all of this plus all the plans that people discussed for the school, the loop system, all the other stuff.
yeah.
So they're aware of everything ahead of time.
Yeah. that
So
sounds-
nobody will be surprised. No, it's a good point, and we can do that.
And, honestly, in the presentation to the town board, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, this is the information we got. We don't know how accurate it is. And we shared it with the school and they're starting to collect it, but whatever we find out from their response.
Mike Dunning, as I said, when he provided the oil usage information, provided many caveats. And we know the shortcomings of that data. So in fact, we may be able to get updates on their oil and electric usage from him. But yes, whatever we say concerning the ETIP presentation will be provided, again, with caveats.
I have a question for you, Don. If we get updated data from the school, are you able to run that through one of the ETIP tools to do any kind of analysis?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. That would be helpful.
Are you going away?
January.
So you're here through December? Great, so then you and I can go to the school.
Okay.
Okay, that'd be helpful. Okay, good. Okay, Don and I are going, and if you'd like to join us, because you're,
Yeah, that'd be great.
I
That would be awesome.
appreciate your involvement.
yeah, okay. So we've already formed a group to go visit the school. Don, Rob, and I will go. Okay. Anything else about ETIP town presentation? Anything in that related area? No? Okay. Moving on to cloth shopping bags.
Very, yes, technical presentation here. Well, yeah, I've investigated a bit more from last time about the availability of these customizable shopping bags and their costs. And I think, as I expressed last time, the costs have increased. And the outfit that we dealt with previously, totebagfactory.com, the prices were roughly $2 a bag more, something like that. I don't remember exactly. But it's in line with other outfits. Another outfit I looked at is called Bagworks New York. They actually have some very interesting bags, one called the Triborough, another called the Brooklyn, one called the Manhattan. But they do look to be high quality, and they are, again, customizable. Prices are maybe just a bit higher than the outfit we dealt with previously. To do a 3-color with one of their good quality bags, we're talking about $10 a bag, almost. So the question is, it's more what do we want to pay? What is our budget for this? How many bags do we want to produce? Because, as I said, then the choice is, we can narrow down.
Is that with a flat bottom?
Yes.
These are the prices with a flat bottom?
Yeah, I'm trying to show you, here's one with a flat bottom. You can't see much from that small thing,
I can't believe we're having this
Yeah.
discussion. Like a flat bottom.
Your back.
I have a flat bottom. Never mind.
That's one of the better looking bags, but as you can see, that's close to $10.
Oh, okay. That's very good.
What was the name of the company?
This particular one that Tim's looking at is the same one we dealt with previously called Tote Bag Factory.
Oh, I see. It has this, because it's a flat bottom, it has to have this
Yes,
more secure.
right. And some of them have two handles, so you have a handle, with a long handle, short handle, and some have pockets on the side. So there's a tremendous variety you can choose from. But as I said, what's key is how much do we want to pay? And then maybe we can narrow it down.
Okay. So this company with the flat bottom is $9.98. Oh, that's for 1,000. Oh, $9.91. Okay.
Kim, what's the name of it on the, did they have I'm on the totebagfactory.com site.
Custom iconic shopping bag. It was $9.91. We would charge $10. That's $9. It was $9.91 for 1 to 99. Oh, if we do 100, if we did 150, would that be $7.90?
Yes, it looks like it'll be $8.
Okay.
And three colors, I'm sorry, yes, this particular one would be $8, three colors.
Okay.
And I have to recheck the size to make sure it's appropriate. It looks like that's the correct one.
Okay.
And
All right.
the colors are the three colors of ink. They don't refer to the colors of the straps because I see some of them
No.
have colored
Yeah.
straps.
Now, the straps, of course, are, three color. No, the three colors would be what's being printed.
The straps come in green.
Too.
I've not seen green. In fact,
Yeah.
I looked. I saw red and I saw black. I did not see green.
They have green.
Do they? Okay.
Okay. All right. Do we want to still think about this?
Uh,
I mean, we're not going to be able to sell these until
the spring,
the
yeah.
spring.
Yeah.
So should we just wait till January and make a decision then? Does that make sense?
Well, 150 sold out in what? About 2 years?
Yeah, it took a while, but
Yeah.
it happened.
Do you have it in the budget for this year or?
And did we get the money back from the sales?
It's an excellent question.
It was supposed to be a rolling fund.
Yes.
We can
Plus.
make that happen.
What's that?
It was?
No, we can make that happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we talked about it.
We did talk about it and then budget season got a little hectic and we
Okay.
forgot that little bit, but we'll fix it.
Okay.
So, okay.
Okay. So this sounds promising.
Right. But we're holding off on an order. Is that?
Yeah, if you want to just hold off on it until January and then, because we
Okay.
don't, does that
So,
make,
till our next meeting.
does that make sense?
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay. But I think this sounds good. Can we get a sample of the bag?
I believe we can.
Actually, if you get a sample with a green strap,
Okay.
and
I'll
then,
try.
then we'd have a better idea of what the graphic will look like, because
Yep.
the handle might be quite overwhelming. And the
It
graphic,
could be a different color green
Yeah,
than
I
the
think
green
it
in
would
the.
I know it needs to match the green of the graphic.
I don't think it's impossible to match greens. I think we should consider if we're going to stay with green for the one of the ink colors, maybe we should choose a different, like a blue or something for the straps.
Or I can match the strap.
Is there a black strap?
Matching greens is like it's impossible.
Well, the green is pretty strange anyway. Do they have I mean, it just depends how it's printed.
Wait a minute.
Like when it's printed in the
We're in
reporter
the-
ad, it looks like
we're in the green
it's this
committee.
horrible green. I think that's not what it looked like on the screen. And I just know that happens. If things are printed.
All the time. It depends on how your monitor is programmed.
I know. Does it come in black?
I didn't think this was part of my
Yes.
responsibility.
It's black, beige,
You're
red,
out of here.
and blue.
Now fashion consultant.
Actually, I think black, either black or what, black would be because black is a
I
neutral
agree.
color.
Okay,
And-
so
and-
what are you telling me? Get a black one?
Get a black one.
Okay.
Yeah, forget the green. Bad idea. Okay. Oh, look at that. Hmm,
That's black.
okay.
Okay, did you clicked three colors there?
No. Where do I click three colors?
Go down, scroll down. Right, you just went by it. Go up, right, up, more, right there, click that. Can now look at the price, which should have increased. Okay,
It did, 31.
Okay, but that depends if you're doing 1 to 99.
How many are we doing?
You did 150, the price
Yeah,
goes down to, I can't see it from, 8.
835.
8.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, we have an inkling. And it looks actually very sturdy and more usable than the previous bag, which was nice for mail and picking up your prescriptions, but not very sturdy. So
Okay,
I think this would become wildly
These days,
popular.
you need an overnight bag to pick up your
I think
prescription.
we can make it a fashion statement.
okay.
Make it what?
I
Fashion
think
statement.
they sell like hotcakes.
Scroll up, Christina, please. Yeah,
Charity.
the other way. Oh, Charity, I'm sorry. Just want to see the name. Yeah, that's the same thing we're looking at. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. I know this was.
Painful.
But you're doing very well.
Wait till we have you model
Oh, gee.
them.
We'll make a runway around.
Exactly.
We'll get a nice, young, attractive person to do
We'll
that.
do whole layout in some magazine. Okay, good, that's that.
Tim,
Yes,
I'm sorry that I was a few minutes late to the meeting. Do we have a new member?
do we have a what?
We have a new member.
No,
No,
we don't.
but we have one in person instead of on Zoom.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is Rob Pappas, who's here
Oh,
for,
hi, Rob. Yeah, no, I know you're not a new member. I'm sorry. I thought I heard a reference to somebody leaving.
no. We're gonna have a brief executive session after we get through all this public stuff.
Okay.
We'll discuss. Okay. And in order for that to happen, we need to keep going. So solar at the recycling center. So I guess the question. So Christina has been in touch with Tom Connolly at Green Logic. He got all the town bills. The last I heard from him, he wanted to talk to his analyst,
Okay.
and neither Christina or I have heard from him since. So the question is, if we wanted to, if we talked to Joe, have a meeting with Joe and Ken about this, can we include Tom? And he understands that we have to put out an RFP and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So that would be okay?
yeah.
Okay.
Basic information gathering, absolutely.
Yeah, it's an informational meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear that, Christina?
Yes, that sounds great.
Okay, good. So we'll set that up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay,
So
great.
Tom has not been to the site yet, true, or,
He knows it well because he lives on the
Oh,
island.
he lives on the
and
island.
goes
oh,
there.
so he knows it well.
Yep,
Good.
he knows it well. Okay, so I'll get in touch with him and just see what's going on with his analyst. Not the sitting on the couch type analyst, and but you never know. And we'll see if we can move that forward. Okay. And then residential solar update, I think that would maybe something be part of the presentation that we do. And talk about residential solar at the presentation.
Yeah. That's a good idea, because that's one of the big recommendations that's gonna come out of it.
It is.
So it makes sense to get
It's a
into that
starting
more.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Also, I just want to mention, I sent around an email to everyone in this group, and I will do the same to all the people who signed up for the solar tour. If you agree and think it's useful, about Solar United Neighbors Build Solar ASAP. It's a teach-in. So I think I'm not exactly sure. It's specific to New York. So I'm sorry, I don't have a quick elevator pitch for what it is, but um, they're talking about, skyrocketing electricity bills in New York. And so, we need to double down on rooftop and community solar. So yeah, it says join us on Tuesday, December 9th to learn more about how solar industry leaders, solar advocates, and state lawmakers are leading the charge to accelerate clean and affordable power. So I think there's some bill under consideration. It's the Accelerate Solar for Affordable Power Act, which this policy can really help people, in their, well, I guess, incentivize solar installations. So I don't know if everybody on the list would be interested in it, but anyway, I shared it with all of you, and I will share it with everybody else. So anybody who's interested can sign up. I've signed on for it. And the other thing was, I also sent around another email from Solar United Neighbors with a video that they just produced. They're going, well, they've gone national. They've been national for a while, but they're not in all 50 states by any stretch. But they've done a lot of really amazing work, and they've got these local chapters. When I talked to the fellow by email from Sun, he said, we don't yet have staff in New York, but I was encouraged to see this webinar on the New York legislation, because maybe they'll put some more effort in the state to expand their support operations. But what they do is support, group buys, and they just do a lot of education. They also support community solar. So it's a good, and I've talked about them a lot before. So been back in touch with the fellow. He's been traveling and working, and then I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. But anyway, we'll get connected, and I'll find out a little bit more about, if the board has any plans for expanding into New York and how we might be able to piggyback on that. In the meantime, I'll just continue to share information that I'm getting from the network.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I do think.
Can I just jump in here?
Sure.
I think when we go out to homeowners, our message has to make clear what solar can do for homeowners and what it can't do for homeowners, what solar can do for Shelter Island and what it can't do for Shelter Island. We need to, our information level needs to be ahead of homeowners. And of course, it's going to vary among homeowners as well. We will probably also need to address the issues of batteries, which is in a certain sense separate from solar. Okay, so I think those two issues need to be addressed, need to be understood by us and part of our pitch when we go out to homeowners.
And I think it's good timing for these conversations, because I believe that the state is planning to really kind of dig into solar more. The energy code and the building code was supposed to change in 2026 to only allow solar in new construction. So like only electric power in new construction. So the goal is to phase out fossil fuels completely. But in order to do that, they're obviously going to have to promote more solar applications in order to generate the energy necessary to support the fact that all homes are supposed to be going electric in starting 26. So there's going to be a lot happening in New York State to help support that change in the building code. So it's probably a good time to start talking about it. And I think keep your eyes and ears open for changes made at the state level and hopefully different supports that are going to come out of this and different programs that they're going to start to develop.
Yeah, Meg, is that electricity standard for new construction for large buildings or is it for all construction? Because I think there's a phase in on that.
It's for residential and commercial, I believe. But it was supposed to kick in 2026, but they might delay it a year and slowly phase it because there really hasn't been enough prep work in order for it to roll out efficiently.
Right.
I know the building department just got the new manuals like a month or two ago, and it's a significant amount of learning. So
Wow.
I don't think that people are prepared yet because the manuals, they just came out.
Yeah, and it may or may not be part of this this issue, but as some of you may have noticed, the governor has allowed the construction of a gas pipeline across New York waters. That's a change. So, gas usage is now back on the table in New York, where it had been off the table before. So, keep an eye on that issue as well.
Hmm. When did she agree? There were rumors she was going to agree to
Yeah,
that.
it was a negotiation with Trump. She did it.
I know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it took place over the last year. They're already starting the pipeline in southern New Jersey.
Hmm.
So there's going to be gas in New York and perhaps even New York and Long Island. The question is, and that's why I'm not surprised that there's a pause now in the regulations.
Well, I mean, the negotiation was to allow the wind projects to continue.
Yeah. Yep. There was a quid pro quo.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on this topic? Okay. Rob, anything you want to report on?
Just a few brief remarks. I haven't had a lot of time this month. My apologies to
No.
everybody on that. So I did talk with Tom Connolly from Green Logic, and I was hoping that we might get some support in the way of some donations of some of the key elements of a system. That part of the discussion didn't go very well. It's just, they're not in a position to do that, unfortunately. But he did offer to, participate in discussions about the design and things like that. So that's one.
Good.
Two, I need to do a lot more work and I need to get together with you, Don. There are these, there's a lot of do-it-yourself kits. Some of them pretty small, and that would be completely suitable for a shed size application and pretty simple. There's some very basic components, a couple of panels, an inverter, a battery, so very simple distribution. And I have to dig into those a little bit more. And then I think I'd like to discuss those with you, Don, and then, take them to Mr. Conradi at the school and get the discussion moving forward. But I think that's the type of thing, because I think a kit, it's simple, they're not cheap, but it's simple. But I think for the students, they still get the full learning experience of all the basic components, what each component does. One of the key elements is how do you size these out? How much power do you need? So not super complex, but a step-by-step logical process. So So that's what I have for the board members today, committee members.
I had occasion to look into it very briefly, Rob, also, and just looking at what's called floating ground, or floating neutral rather, and grounded neutral, and the consequences, and you can't tie it into the school or our house.
Right.
But certainly there are these standalone kits that, as you said, come in all sizes, and I think it would be a great learning experience for the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, as we talk about reaching out to homeowners and things like that, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to be learned even from a very small installation.
I agree.
The flexibilities that are there, it's kind of like solar doesn't have to be an all, great big or nothing type of proposition.
Right.
There's a lot of interesting applications. So,
We're looking at $1,000 maybe dollars, right? Something like that.
yeah,
Should be able to come up with that somehow.
yeah, I think so.
I mean, even the students, I don't know, washing cars, whatever, or something, some fun.
Actually, I think the person, really the sponsor who's going to be purchasing the shed,
Okay.
hopefully
Should be able-
will be, say that's going to be a great convenience to have that.
Right.
So I'll foot the bill. Yeah. Charity?
Is there, we just heard that the building department has just gotten this manual that's going to help, I assume, help local builders figure out how to build these all-electric homes, if they're not already doing that. Is there any tie-in with this project? In other words, is this type of education, is this going to educate students who participate in this project? Will they be more likely to be able to work on all electric homes or help build all electric homes going forward? And if so, if there is any connection, is that something that we can leverage with this project?
I would doubt it, Charity. It's a different level entirely. No, I think this is going to be more education of what's possible with solar energy, not necessarily how you would tie it into a house.
I agree with Don. I think any exposure to, the various technical fields, whether it's plumbing or whether it's standard electric or solar, I think just having that hands-on experience, having the experience of going through some pretty basic calculations of, all right, what are the loads I'm going to have? How much wattage do I need? In some way, that's prepping these students for some type of future growth. Is it going to prep them to dive right into these new codes and all that? I don't think anything at the level we're talking about would do that. But I think it's just having that hands-on, I think could be the catalyst for some of these students to say, I'd like to pursue this further in my post high school studies, et cetera, et cetera. So
It's a good practical application of their physics,
Yeah.
for example,
Yep.
in the physics course.
It also takes some of the mystery out of it, and the intimidation factor kind of goes away when you understand how it works and you've been able to do it on a small scale. You're more willing to look into bigger projects. So it just helps demystify it.
Maybe Charity, at some point when they're done, you could do an article about it.
Well, I think I think it's more likely to be worthy of an article if there's some sort of application beyond just sort of a fun project.
I honestly, I think you raise a really good point that I think it would be nothing but encouraging for the students to know here's the bigger frame for this work. This is a small project, very specific, very hands-on, but this is the policy reality, outside that, this is where the world's going. And so there are jobs here, there are possibility, there are careers here to be had. And I think having that bigger frame can only be helpful. So I'm glad you raised it.
True.
Yeah. I mean, certainly in the discussions, my future discussions with Mr. Camerardi, I could certainly bring this up. I have not talked to the building department, and I want to make sure when and if we talk to the building department that, we set it up in the right framework so that, we have a focused discussion. And I don't want to open any can of worms in having a discussion. We're doing something very limited here. But
But I think,
I know, I'm sorry, I know for a student, I have an engineering background. The first time you take a volt-ohm meter and you put it on a circuit and you start measuring things like current and voltage, there might be only a handful if there's 20 students on the whole project, but 3 of them have that aha moment, like, wow, this is cool. I think that's a big step forward, and then they'll know how to direct
agree.
their future studies.
I agree, and I guess what I'm suggesting is that we leverage that if we can, to make this more than just an aha moment. To make make those connections for students that yes, this is the way the world is going to be. In fact, this is the way a lot of the world already is.
Yeah,
We are
right.
not in this country on the bleeding edge of this at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are good, excellent points.
I wanted to add one more thing. I watched this video last night. It's pretty short, but there's a clip, a part of it is about a resilience project in Houston, Texas. And I flagged it in my email, but they did, I thought of you, Rob, with this project because it's on a larger scale, clearly, but not huge. And I just thought it might be, we could probably collect a lot more information about it and maybe that could be the bigger frame. You can have like increasingly large frame, the big context globally on climate change. And then, I think it's worth talking with the teachers at the school. Do they want to have, maybe as part of this, a session on the bigger picture? And then that issue of resilience can be part of that bigger picture, and maybe with some practical information about this particular example of a resilience hub. Anyway, it kind of ties in with if we're going to connect with Sun also.
Okay.
do you think, would the town board entertain when the project is done, if the school came and did a presentation on a Tuesday?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
So you could do something like,
Yeah.
that's me. My leg just fell off. Anyway,
And maybe there's a Green Expo connection too. So when this is all done, we can feature it because,
I love
again,
that.
for some people, they may not be ready to dive into, a really big project on their home. But the practicality of being able to put power somewhere and another interesting thing would be, interesting part of this might be, what would it cost to actually hook up to your house, versus going out and buying one of these kits and doing a do-it-yourself, off-the-grid type of thing. So, so I think a lot of places this can go. But I think the first thing is, getting this started. And I really, I still need to build a better bridge with Mr. Camerardi. When I talk with him on the phone, he's very excited. But then, then I really don't hear anything until I make the next call. So I need to build a stronger bridge.
also understand that they're all really busy.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Just
This
from
is,
experience.
yeah,
And there can be a lot of enthusiasm
yes.
when you talk, but then it feels like, so just don't be discouraged by that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I kind of understand that, but having that, come from you, it helps cement that in a little bit better. And, clearly, we're going to have to do some of the legwork for them with this. So I think that's the next thing to really to really get this, on solid footing is to really bring them information and know-how and, step A, B, C, which takes time.
Yeah,
to
just
put
be
that together.
prepared to ask them, what can we do to make this happen?
Yeah,
Right.
so,
So it's not, they don't feel like it's all on them, that you're there to help them make this happen.
yeah, and I don't know, for this meeting that's, is coming up relative to the ETIP, I don't want to take away from, the primary focus on that, but maybe we could just, maybe plant a little seed towards the end of that meeting, time permitting, just to say that we are talking with Mr. Camerarty, and, because I don't know how much interface he's had with them on this. So it might be a way of just, again,
Okay,
putting a little more energy into the whole thing. No pun intended.
okay, good.
That's also why I think we want to bring the town council up to speed with us so that people understand that the town council has a position on our proposals
Right.
for the people. And one other party that hasn't been brought into this discussion about solar, of course, is PSE and GLI.
Right.
So, we don't have to do this immediately, but I'm glad to see that we're getting a meeting finally with the town council to get behind us. And I think that will be good for your discussions too.
Yep. Good. Okay. We need to, so if nobody else has anything else, I just want to bring the public meeting to, Elise, do you have any questions for us?
I don't. I have a lot of information I've taken down for our association newsletter, but no, but thank you for asking, Tim.
Okay. 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 Nobody else has anything else to bring up. I make a motion to close this meeting so we can have a quick executive session meeting.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay.